What's going on, guys? I'm back with another one. And I just watched a movie called Dinner in America, starring Emily Skeggs, Cal Gowner, and Griffin Gluck. It's not a hard name to pronounce. It's just a weird name. It's just a weird name. Sorry. First of all, I want to do a little dedication to 100% pure, unapologetic humor in comedy. Anybody who knows me by now, you know I've been missing this for so long. I've been wanting to really just laugh for a good long minute. All right. Which is why this is sort of my award show to that. Okay? Because I want to thank directors like Bob Clark with Porky's in 1981, man. Yes, Porky's was like the pioneer of raunchy humor. All right? Before this, you never see anything like this in comedy. All right? You got guys sticking their members in a hole through a girl's shower room, thinking he's going to get a great result, and he doesn't in the end. And we used to think that was funny. That was hilarious. We didn't cry and get offended and please, why are they doing? Why did they? That's offensive. That's horrific. No, we didn't do any of that. We just laughed. We laughed. We just laughed. Okay, and we let it go. I miss that. And I also want to thank the WAYAN brothers, okay, for Don't Be a Menace. I'm not going to say the rest of that title. That's insane. But Don't Be a Menace in 1996. All right. These guys were the ones who kind of turned black humor around. Yes, there's a difference between black humor and white humor, and it's nothing wrong with that. Okay, it's just the truth. There definitely used to be a difference between the two. It's just what it is. Okay, nothing wrong with that. And these guys were kind of the game changers for that, with making fun of street violence. All right, situations of women having multiple kids by different baby daddies, and guys coming in and punching these kids out. When you know the context of that, you get it. You get it. All right, watch the movie. Okay, but they would make fun of stuff like this in a world where black humor was not doing this before the Wayans stepped into the scene, or at least Robert Townsend. Do your research. All right. And I also want to thank another set of brothers, the Farrelly brothers, okay, with their classic Something About Mary, all right, which came out in 1998. This was a start of something people were calling gross out humor, all right. Gross out humor was just, they were not scared to go certain lengths and do certain things and show certain images in comedy just to make sure you get you a good wholesome laugh. All right, things with the human yogurt landing on someone's ear or in someone's hair and stuff like that, and dogs getting hurt and stuff that people usually complain about these days, all right, and cry about. They did it. They did that. And then I lastly want to thank JUDD APATOW for 40-Year-Old Virgin in 2005. This was definitely a classic. It was a strong classic right here, man. You got scenes where people are really going in for the laughs, with getting their hair waxed off their chests. He really did that. Okay, you got stuff like that. And there's far more offensive things going on in this comedy that I probably shouldn't mention. You're gonna have to watch the movie for that. All right, you're gonna have to watch the movie for that. But I enjoyed everything like that. I missed it, and all that comedy has faded away. And now we have Dinner in America. Is Dinner in America gonna go right back to the good offensive comedy we used to love? I'm about to find out. Let's go. Dinner in America. For those who don't know, for those who are not aware, actually, I cannot fault you for not being aware of Dinner in America. There was no advertisement of this. I had to stumble upon this on Google Movies. All right, if I did not, I would have never known this movie existed. It never was marketed. It never was promoted. So I'll let you slide right there. I'll let you slide this time. Dinner in America. It's pretty much about this guy named Simon. He's a punk rocker who's running around just looking for the next buck. You know, selling drugs, to taking lab tests, experiments to get money. All right, just all kinds of random stuff. And meanwhile, he's also running from the law because, you know, the drug selling. All right, and while he's doing this, he bumps into this girl, this very, I'd say, intellect lacking girl named Patty, who takes him in to her home. All right, to where his first initial plan was to hide out, but then he starts to form this bond with her, which becomes very interesting because they find out that they very much needed each other throughout this whole movie, and then the other things pursue, and that's the premise of Dinner in America. All right, positives. The first thing I have to say about this, and this is just off the jump, all right, it's the badassery of our lead character, Simon. Okay, this guy, his character was a total badass. Everything he did and said, he didn't care. He didn't give a damn about society. He was quite an angry person. He was an interesting person. And I like this persona because he was a little guy who talked a lot of crap. He talked a lot of crap like he was 7 foot. All right, and he wasn't afraid of anything, and which is actually kind of funny because there's a certain scene that reflects upon that, and it's kind of ironic. But you'll have to watch a movie for that. You know what I'm saying? It's just the things that he did, the way that he talked to people who very much well deserved this. He was the person who said what you want to say. Everybody else wants to say, but they're too scared to say it. He said that. He'll say it for you. Don't worry, he's gonna say it. Whether he gets his teeth punched out or what, he's gonna say it. Okay, he was just that guy, and I loved his character for every minute that he brought to the screen. Man. He almost carried this movie. Almost. That's an almost. Another positive about this. This movie had a quick pace about it. All right. It definitely didn't drag. You know, it was from one scene to the next. But not so fast that you didn't understand what was going on. Okay. You understood what was going on. Completely. You didn't miss anything. You weren't gonna miss anything. At the same time, it didn't waste time. And I appreciated that. You're going from this to that. So many things happening at one time. You got to keep up. You have to keep up with the movie. All right. I warn you right now. Keep up with the movie, and you'll be okay. But it's not that hard to keep up with. Okay. It's just the speed in which these events take place. Because this guy is on the run. You gotta remember, he's on the run. He's trying to find the next buck. And also he's running from the law. Keep this in mind. So there's no time to slow down. He must think off the whim. Okay, he's got to think real quick. all right, about what he's going to do next. There's no waiting in this guy's life. And the choices that he makes, including the fact that he's a pyromaniac. So that doesn't help. But yeah, so but the choices he also makes are so random that it's gonna bite him in the ass later on. Trust me. Another positive about this, all right, the chemistry between Simon and Patty. It was something that's so unexpected, but in the end, you realize that these two characters, they definitely needed each other. All right, you have one character on one end, Simon, who just rebels against everything, and he doesn't take time to try to understand anybody else. He understands certain people, especially people who are who feel like are they outcasts like himself. But other than that, he doesn't give a damn what you think and what your feelings are and what's going on with you. It's all about him and what his quest is. All right. And so that's where you get Patty, who comes in, who's very apologetic and just very nonchalant and not understanding a lot of things. And so she's easy to lead. She's easy to lead on, and you can lie to her and manipulate her. And by having her come into the scene and meeting Simon, it shows Simon that there's other things to life. There's this innocence to life besides, rebelling and being, breaking and burning things down and terrorizing and vandalizing things. There's more to that. There's more to life than that, okay? And she teaches him that. And then also he teaches her how to just stand up for yourself, okay? And not let everybody just walk all over you. He teaches her that. So they very much well needed each other, all right? Another positive about this, my last positive. This had a level of darkness to it as far as the humor that I haven't seen in a long time. This is why I mentioned those movies earlier, all right? Because this brings back those memories of what I used to see, what I used to be used to with my old humor, my old comedy. All right, there were words that are said in here that people were afraid to say in movies for a long time. In movies, in rated R movies, they were scared to say this. They're definitely scared to say this on TV. But in movies alone, they were just scared to utter words like this. And it makes sense for the content of the movie and the character who's saying it. Of course, it's Simon. And he doesn't hold anything back. This is what you're on right now. So it makes a lot of sense for him to say this. All right? And so I appreciate that. Negatives. There were some sex scenes and love scenes or whatnot that were just lacking. They were lacking because they weren't explicit enough. Okay, for a movie like this, you're going all out with everything else. Go all out with the sexual content. Okay, that's all I ask. All right, why hold back with that? Why give everything a full push, but you hold back with the sex scenes? All right, and I know it's not important and needed, but I just did not like that. Okay, it didn't hit me well. It didn't hit me well. Another negative about this. As far as comedy, the only two characters that were holding strong to that were Simon and Patty. Patty with her quirkiness and her weirdness and the way she was just so odd, and then Simon with just his inability to keep some things to himself and not hold back and try to just restrain himself sometimes. Other than that, none of the other characters in this movie stood out, or were at least funny. Maybe the little brother, but not that much. It just, there were no other characters. They were just used for side plots, for people to get mad at the main characters. All right, They were pawns to be annoyed by Patty and Simon, pretty much. All right, that was their whole plan. That was their whole use. That was their whole existence. I didn't like that. My last negative. This movie really requires, and I want to say this again, this movie needed a stronger soundtrack. You are talking about a punk rock singer, all right, who's on the rebel, who's on the run, who's doing all these crazy things. You needed the strongest rock soundtrack you could get, or punk rock soundtrack that you can find, all right? Put some artists in this. Put some pizzazz behind that score. All right? Come on, give me something. Give me something, because all I got was the original music that the rock stars themselves in the movie were making. And that wasn't enough for me. That was not enough. What were you doing? Okay? So much more could have been done with the music in this movie. Honestly. That's why I gotta give this an I cool. Yes, an I cool. This movie was, let me get wrong, this movie was a great movie, okay? It's just certain elements that this movie lacked, so to speak, that would have made this a hell yeah, okay? Please give me more. Put those sexual scenes in there. This is a raw movie. Put those sex scenes in there. Put that, come on. Make everybody else meet up with the humor of your lead characters, okay? Everybody must connect with this. I want to laugh all the way throughout, all right? That's my only thing for right now. I want you to share, like this video. If you haven't subscribed, you better do it.